everyone, Lauren Culp here, publisher and CEO at CU Insight, and we are bringing you another 3 questions video interview. I'm so excited about today's episode. Joining me is Christopher Stevenson, the SVP and Chief Learning Officer at CUES. It is going to be a really great interview here. We're talking all about the upcoming CUES Strategic Innovation Institute that's coming up July 19th through August 4th, and it's in partnership with Stanford. Well, first of all, Christopher, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so great. Well, could you tell people a little bit about what is the CUES Strategic Innovation Institute? Tell us about the program.
Absolutely. So the program was started in 2014, and it was designed to help credit unions to build an innovation function within their organizations. Credit unions as 100-year-old organizations, in some cases, were scratching their heads a little bit and trying to establish an innovation culture in a well-established organization, and it presents a challenge for many organizations. And so we worked initially with MIT and Stanford to build out this program, and are now working solely with Stanford Graduate School of Business with that mindset of how do you build an innovation culture in an established organization without leaving your tradition, without leaving your history, without leaving that foundation that you built for the course of their 100-year history in the dust. And so we have done that. We work with Huggy Rao, who is lead faculty of the program, and author of a book called Scaling Excellence. And he takes that idea, that mindset of starting with a seed of innovation and then building it up so that it can be sustainable over the long term.
That is amazing. Well, I have heard through the grapevine that the Strategic Innovation Institute has historically been an in-person classroom program. So yes. Obviously that's maybe not the world we live in right now. So what kind of experience could attendees expect to have online this year?
Well, as you say, it has historically been an in-person program on the Stanford campus, which is a beautiful campus. But because of COVID, because of the pandemic, we are shifting everything to digital. And with that, we're adapting the program in order to make the program accessible and fun without sacrificing the learning opportunities. So, for example, one of the things, a word or phrase that was not used 18 months ago is Zoom fatigue. Right. So we are structuring the program so there's shorter days. We're not asking people to participate in a program for 6 or 8 hours a day, sitting in front of their computers. Shorter, more compact days, still with the same faculty, Huggy Rao, Charles O'Reilly, our innovation lab. All those pieces are still woven into the program. And then we're asking folks to apply what they're learning to their own organizations. So it is learning and application. The program lasts over the course of 3 weeks, and that middle week is actually exactly that work of application and making sure that you're able to apply what you're learning to your organization and set you up for that scaling effect that I talked about a few minutes ago.
That sounds like a really great translation of the program online. I'm curious too, what is different in the program from a content standpoint? So how is that content really being adapted to what we would call maybe the new world order?
Yeah, it's a great question. The fact is that things have changed. We're not in the same situation that we were a year ago. A year ago, I wouldn't be speaking to you from my home's lower level. It's a different world we live in. And with that comes a new psychological contract between employers and employees. Flexible work hours, working from home, helping your employees, your staff members to manage their life while still driving forward the organizational goals. And so we're going to dive deep into that particular topic of the new psychological contract between employers and employees, and the impact that will have on your innovation culture. And so that's an area of passion for Huggy. He wrote an article for McKinsey with Bob Sutton. Many folks know Bob Sutton because he wrote a best-selling book called The No A-Hole Rule. And they're focused on that new psychological contract. We'll apply that to our work. We also have historically done something in the D school, when we have the program on campus, the design school is focused on human-centered design, understanding the process that you go through in order to create new products, new offerings, bring new ideas to life, all with the end user in mind. And it's an iterative process. It requires prototyping, it requires data feedback, and so on. And you're familiar with the model, Lauren. But we can't do that at the D school, of course. And so we're going to still work with the faculty members from the D school to work on human-centered design, but do it in a way that allows people to basically set up their own innovation lab within their own organization. And so, again, looking not just at where we were, but where we need to go and how we need to adapt in our design and our products in order to meet the members where they are today.
That is amazing. And I can't think of anything more important for credit unions to be able to stay competitive than making sure that we're innovating, providing those new things. And it sounds like you've been innovating this actual program itself. So I love to hear that. One question that folks might have is around networking. Obviously, that's a really key component, very valuable to this program. How can folks expect to network virtually through this program?
Yeah, and we're doing that in a couple different ways. So a lot of times when we talk about networking, the focus is on connecting with as many people as we can, talking to folks over cocktails and so on. And we will be doing that. So CUES is going to be putting together some virtual opportunities to spend some time. It's not going to be, getting together and asking people to try and make small talk over Zoom. We'll have some structured activities related to networking time, so people can really kind of get to know each other, have some fun, and share ideas. And then the other side of it, the piece that many times we don't talk about when it's networking is the second part of the word, the work part of it. And so much of the application work that we do will be done in small group assignments where people have a shared goal and they're working together with that, sharing ideas, talking through their own challenges and opportunities within their organizations, and building out the network in that way. We'll give people lots of opportunity to interact with each other in meaningful ways and share ideas and innovate together. So that's the way that we're approaching it. We're excited about it. To date, we've had a number of online programs, digital programs, and the way that we approach digital programs at CUES, we don't just take a conference or a meeting and drop it into an online platform. We change it and we update it in order to make sure that we are maximizing the outcome, optimizing it for the digital space. And we'll do that with Stanford as well.
Well, that sounds like an amazing experience. Strategic Innovation Institute, everyone, definitely worth checking out. Christopher, before we wrap up today, any last thoughts that you'd like to leave for our audience?
Well, I appreciate you having me on today. I'm excited to share this program. I love executive education, and I'm excited about what we're able to do with it digitally. I really encourage folks to attend. They can go to CUES.org, which is the CUES website, to get more information, or email me, Christopher@CUES.org. I'm happy to talk to anybody. They may be sorry if they ask me about exec ed. I'll talk about it for hours, but I'm happy to share ideas and talk through the program with anybody who's interested.
That sounds amazing. Well, we will link to the CUES website here so that everyone can easily access that. We'll put your email address in there as well.
Great.
Christopher, it's been so great. I'm very interested in the Strategic Innovation Institute. It sounds like a great program, and I can only imagine the value that credit union leaders will get out of it. And it sounds like virtually too, it will be a really, really wonderful experience.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us today. Again, everyone, we will link to all that we talked about here in the post. If you have any questions, please reach out to Christopher at CUES. And again, thank you so much for your time, Christopher. It was really great getting to connect.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Take care.